Ashtavakra Gita. Ashtavakra Gita. There is a text that has been called the Ashtavakra Gita, the Song of the Eightfold Twist, and it comes to us from the classical world of Indian philosophy, most likely somewhere between the 8th and 14th centuries of the Common Era. The identity of its author remains genuinely unknown. No biography survives, no confirmed lineage, no authenticated manuscript trail. What we have is the text itself, and in some ways that anonymity suits it perfectly, because the Ashtavakra Gita is not interested in personalities. It is a dialogue between a sage and a king, and its singular purpose is to demonstrate that what you have always been seeking is identical with what you already are. It belongs to the tradition of Advaita Vedanta, the school of radical non-duality, and it works not through gradual instruction, but through direct pointing, verse by verse, like a hand lifting a lamp to show you the room you were standing in all along. With that, let the song begin. Janaka asked, "O Master, tell me, how is knowledge gained, how is liberation achieved, and how is dispassion realized?" Ashtavakra replied, "If you desire liberation, my child, treat the objects of the senses as poison. Drink forgiveness, honesty, kindness, contentment, and truth as if they were the nectar of immortality. You are not the earth, nor the water, nor the fire, nor the air, nor the space. To be free, know yourself as the witness of these 5 elements. Know yourself as awareness itself. If you can separate the self from the body and rest only in awareness, at that very moment you will be happy, at peace, and free from all bondage. You do not belong to the Brahmin caste or any other. You are not a student, a householder, or a monk. You are not visible to the eyes. You are the unattached, formless witness of all things. Be free." Janaka said, "O wonder, I am flawless, peaceful, and beyond nature. I am pure awareness. All this time I have been tormented by the ghost of a world that does not exist. As light is the nature of the sun, as coolness is the nature of water, and as heat is the nature of fire, so is awareness my very nature. I light up the universe, and the universe shines by my light. Just as waves, foam, and bubbles are not different from the water, so the universe which has emanated from me is not different from me. I am like the space, all-pervading and pure. The world is like a jar appearing within me. When the jar is broken, does the space vanish? No, I remain as I was, untouched and whole." Ashtavakra said, "You say you know the One, the indestructible, and the Self. How is it then that you still find interest in gaining wealth? How can a knower of the truth still be a hunter of shadows? When you look into the forest of activity, the buying and selling, the striving and mourning, the endless construction of plans, you see that it rises and falls without any center. The sage, seeing this, does not step into the forest. He remains as the ground on which the forest grows. He who knows that he is the infinite, and that the universe is just a ripple on his surface, how can he feel the smallness required for grief or the hunger required for desire? The sage is the stationary sky. The weather of the world changes, but the sky does not ask for more sun or less rain. The man of low mind pursues the world, even when he knows it is passing. but the one whose mind is dissolved in the absolute. He acts in the world like a man in a play. He wears the crown, he fights the battle, but his heart remains as cool as ice. Janaka said, "O Master, I see it. The one who has realized the self is indeed a sovereign. He is like a man who has woken up from a dream of being a beggar. He no longer looks for crumbs in the dust. He acts, but he is not the doer. He enjoys, but he is not the enjoyer." Ashtavakra said, "You are not attached to anything. You are pure, unmoving awareness. You are the stainless space. Why do you still speak of bondage? Dissolve the universe into the self. Dissolve the many into the one." The universe rises in me like a bubble appearing on the surface of the ocean. Know that the universe arises in me and returns to me. I am not apart from it, and it is not apart from me. Knowing this, I remain as I am. I am in all beings, and all beings are in me. Just as the mirror is in the reflection and the reflection is in the mirror, there is no second and no other. I am the one, the auspicious residue. I am like the infinite space. The universe is like a jar. This is the knowledge. There is no laving, no taking, and no dissolving here. The space does not care if the jar is present or absent. I am like the ocean. The world is like a wave. The ocean does not gain when the wave rises, and it does not lose when the wave falls. I am the one. The world is a thought. There is no bondage, and there is no release. The dream of being a prisoner is just a dream. The dream of being a liberated sage is also just a dream. Janaka said, "In me, the shoreless ocean, the arc of the universe wanders here and there, driven by the wind of its own nature. I am not impatient. I am not moved. I am the unvibrating silence." Ashtavakra said, "Bondage is when the mind wants something, grieves for something, rejects something, holds something, enjoys something, or is angry at something. Liberation is when the mind does not want, does not grieve, does not reject, does not hold, does not enjoy, and is not angry." When you see that the entire field of activity, every forest of duty and ambition, every thicket of social obligation, arises without a fixed center and dissolves back into the silent ground, what remains? The sage, seeing this clearly, rests in that ground. He is not swept into the forest, and he does not congratulate himself for staying out. He simply abides as the stillness from which the whole forest springs. Give up the desire for pleasure, give up the desire for wealth, give up even the desire for virtue. You are the self, you are already full. Why do you run like a beggar through the marketplace of the mind? Janaka said, "I have realized that change is the nature of the mind, and changelessness is the nature of the self. Knowing this, I am no longer interested in becoming anything. I am the nectar of knowledge, homogeneous and unmoving. I was once active, then I became quiet. Now I am neither. I do not practice concentration, for there is no second thing to concentrate upon. I do not practice distraction, for there is no world to distract me. Knowing that the self is in all, and all are in the self, I look at the beautiful and the ugly, the high and the low, with the same unblinking eye. I am the ocean. The ripples on the surface do not change the flavor of my depths. I am not the body, and I am not the person. I am the unmoving awareness. What use have I for rules or postures? I simply exist. Knowledge, the object of knowledge, and the knower, these three do not exist in reality. I am that stainless awareness in which this trinity appears as a phantom. There is no duty, no wealth, no pleasure, and no liberation for me. I am the unmoving space. These are labels we paste onto the void to feel significant. I do not say I am Brahman, for that would imply there is a non-Brahman to be separate from. I do not say I am one, for that would imply two was once a possibility. I am simply that. There is no ignorance, and there is no wisdom. There is no bondage, and there is no freedom. The entire spiritual journey was a dream within a dream. Ashtavakra said, "The sage is like a man in a deep sleep who is nevertheless wide awake. He acts without the sense of being the doer. He enjoys without the sense of being the enjoyer. His personality is a shadow that follows the body, but it has no heart." The sage moves as he is moved by the winds of destiny, like a dry leaf being blown across the ground. He has no will of his own, for he knows that will is just a ripple in the mind mirror. He who knows the self is never troubled by the world. He sees the many as the one. He is like a mirror that reflects the forest and the fire with the same cool, unmoving surface. For the one who has realized the self, there is no should and there is no must. He does not follow the law, for he is the source of the law. His actions are spontaneous, like the flowing of water or the rising of the sun. You may speak of the truth, you may listen to the truth, or you may read 1,000 books, but until you forget everything, you will not find the self. Your understanding is the final wall. You are the all, you are eternally free. Why then do you practice meditation and control? The very act of trying to be free is the proof that you believe you are bound. He has attained the fruit of knowledge, who is like a man in a deep sleep while he is wide awake. He has no purpose in his actions and no interest in his thoughts. For the one who has realized the self, where is the Veda? Where is the master? Where is the path? He is the source of the sun. He is the silence of the space. I bow to that which is the source of all joy. I bow to the peace that remains when the world is seen as a non-event. He who knows the self is like a man who has drunk the nectar of immortality. He sees the many, but he is never moved from the one. The sage acts, but his heart is like a mirror. He reflects the forest and the fire with the same cool, unmoving surface. He does not grasp the good, and he does not avoid the bad. He is like a dry leaf carried by the wind of destiny. The universe is like a city seen in a dream. The people look real, the sun looks bright, and the pain feels sharp. But when the dreamer wakes, where is the city? The sage is the one who has woken up while still walking in the dream city. For the one who has realized the self, there is no should and there is no must. He does not follow the law, for he is the source of the law. He is free from the four goals and free from the four life stages. He is simply that. Janaka said, "I have used the tongs of truth to pull the thorn of doubt from my heart. I have reached the end of all questions. I am established in my own majesty without any before or after." Where is the Dharma? Where is the pleasure? Where is the wealth? And where is the liberation? For me, who am the unmoving witness, these are but names for a lack that never existed. Where is the body? Where are the senses? Where is the mind? Where is the universe? I am the unconditioned light, homogeneous and unmoving. I am not this, I am not that. I am not the I that I once thought I was. I am the nectar of knowledge, the shoreless radiance.